before we get started with Grands, Stu, you already know where I'm going with this.
Oh, is it my time to tell you to hit him with the ad slides?
Yes,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure to read these, John. So, yeah, this is Fusion.EXE. This happens every single Monday right here on twitch.tv/square1UNL. And, of course, our sister broadcasts over at Collision Smash. Definitely support them. If Melee's more your thing, then you're going to want to head over. You're gonna want to head over to SIG. I'm still like getting over that set.
Sorry.
But yo, you're gonna want to get in on the action as well. The registration closes at 6:30 every Monday. But yeah, definitely play, join in, get on the fun. Fusion.EXE is a part of the Collision series, and of course, shout outs to Xeno Wi-Fi, presented by the House of 3000, our good friends over there, every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's free to enter. LAN adapters only, excuse me. And it's limited to New England as well as Tri-State. Join the Discord as well. Join in on the fun. Support our good friends over across the Hudson River. And if you want to do that even further, you're going to want to check out Fight Club. That's every Sunday at 5 p.m. King of the Hill viewer battles, always a good time. Just sit back and chill, hang out in the chat, and talk with our New York homies. Why not? And definitely check him out. Twitch.tv/House3000. Shout outs to Gio. He put digital triggers on my controller, basically pimped the thing out. It feels great to play with. I can't really imagine playing Smash Ultimate without the digital triggers, but he does so much more than that. He does snapback reduction. He does all the sorts of custom, the colorizing stuff. Fix my sticks. Thank you, Gio. You fixed mine. Let him fix yours. FixMySticks.com. You see all the info down there. Definitely check him out on social media. But folks, you can do all that after this set. It's Raptor versus Mr. L, the Yoshi versus the Pikachu. It is time. Welcome one and all to Grand Finals here at Fusion 27. Jitty, if you had predictions, I would love to hear them.
I'm thinking this is gonna go Mr. L's way. I know he's been waiting quite a bit for this set to get underway, but he just looks so clean today. He knows how to put on the pressure. He knows how to finish off a stock. I think if I had to give the edge to someone in this set, it's gonna be Mr. L.
I mean, just because he's never been afraid to rush a dude down, and certainly I would think that Raptor would be no exception. However, I do think that Raptor has the tools to deal with that Pikachu up close if he catches Mr. L lacking in any sense of the word. Perhaps Mr. L feels pressured to press buttons in the face of Raptor. Who knows? But that's something that Raptor could take advantage of and maybe play the patient game a little bit.
And again, Raptor, as we saw from the last set, almost like Raptor's the player who's warmed up. He's been playing sets for the past 3 hours, you know. Mr. L has had to wait quite a while for his set to go, and we kind of saw what happened with Utopian Ray, just not being fully prepared for that losers finals bout. Hopefully it's not the case here and we get a nice showing from both players.
That's the grand hope of it all, isn't it? But that's hopes don't always play out, and certainly the hopes for Mr. L that he might have had might not be playing out as well if that first stock is any indication. Raptor sitting at 100%. However, Mr. L, you never know. You can't judge can't judge a book by the first page of the story. You never know. Certainly not by the cover. So that's what I think about your matchup list, Mr. L. Gonna be utilizing a lot of that Thunder Jolt. You really don't want to. If you're going to give Raptor any opportunity, you're not going to do it on the ground. Because yes, Yoshi is very good at approaching in the air, but at the same time, you almost want to force him to approach in the air. It gives you more of an opportunity to potentially catch those jumps. And as Mr. L finishes off that first stock of Raptors with a dash attack, it kind of makes you wonder if this is a glimpse into the game plan for these next 5 games.
Mr. L giving a little taunt there on the side of the stage before. Now we're all evened up. 2 stocks apiece in game 1 here. And yeah, it's just Raptor doing a good job and knowing exactly where this Pikachu's gonna be to hit him with his multi-hits.
I mean, you know that this Pikachu's going to have to approach you eventually. You're not just getting Thunder Jolted and then timed out. It's not a thing that is going to happen, especially not to Raptor. He's played Pikachu's before. This ain't his first rat race. So Mr. L makes it back to the middle of the stage via that quick attack. I mean, Mr. L, this is going to be a very stop-and-go game for him. He's going to try to stop Raptor's momentum and create his own, basically. Like, he wants to be the one doing the approaching, and I feel like this neutral B is going to be the tool that he has to utilize in order to do it. Certainly that back air in order to get off of him.
And what a great tool it is. Thunder Jolt is such a good just projectile in general in this game. It sends at such a weird angle. It like continues along the path. It has this weird property of being able to like stick to the surface of the stage or the platform and like loop around. It's such a good projectile, and it allows him kind of like the same way Mario's Fireball to just land with it and follow up on a hit on the shield.
So now, again, Raptor, I mean, having taking Mr. L down to his last stock, Mr. L utilizing that dash attack.
Ooh,
I mean,
nice
that thing.
fair.
Oh, you kidding me? That fair. I mean, you're really just gonna tag him with like that dash attack, that crazy powerful 6-frame dash attack, and just do that in his face. Follow it up with the fair. I mean, that's what you have. That's what you kind of want from Mr. L. You have to not be able. You kind of want to not have to show fear. Excuse me, I'm kind of tangled up on my words right now, but I mean, I'm trying to describe Mr. L. If he has a game plan, he cannot afford to hesitate. Raptor, no pun intended, he will eat you alive.
Percent super close here. Yeah, both players know the implications of a neutral win right here. Mr. L in the ledge guard situation.
Oh!
He's gonna spike him into the air. Wow. Up air was really scary.
That felt like a warning shot more than anything. And yeah, this is a relatively, a moderately paced game number one, we should say, but at the same time, they've been measuring each other up for quite some time, and the final hit of that down air is going to send Mr. L to the skies and into the blast zone. Raptor, out of loser's bracket, looking for the reset, well on his way with a 1-0 lead in the set.
Yeah, not bad showing from Mr. L in that game one. Maybe he's still just warming up a little bit in this grand final set. I wonder if we'll see Smashville again.
See, I kind of wonder about that. I'm not really sure, but that knockback on that last frame, it's I can't even think of the exact number. It's like 40 or so. It could be like late 30s. I'm not really sure. But either way, whatever the number is, the number that matters is the one that you see on the bottom of the screen. Raptor 1, Mr. L 0, and no changes from Mr. L, it seems like, although certainly a stage counter pick might be what the doctor ordered. What are you expecting?
I think I like this idea of him wanting to be on Smashville and being on the smaller stage. I didn't see if he actually did change. Yeah, he just ran it back.
That he certainly did, but then again, I kind of like it for Raptor as well. You know that Mr. L wants to be mobile, and what better way to intercept these approaches than with one of those nairs? I mean, you know,
I also think it's got to come down to maybe he doesn't want to get egg camped. The egg, I think it's stronger than the T-Jolt, and you just don't want the free runaway and egg playstyle to be too prominent in this set, I think.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. Throwing that Nair out. That thing just lingers forever, man. Comes out frame 3 and just stays there for what seems like an eternity, especially if you're a Pikachu that's losing and needs to get back into the set. Yeah, catch him at the ledge with the forward smash. Raptor. Man, it's not just Long Island, it's Jurassic Park. This is Jurassic World now. I'm gonna just say that.
Beautiful 2-frame. Can you angle that F smash like upwards or downwards? Or is it just 2-frame naturally?
I think it barely hits below ledge with the right timing.
Okay.
I don't think that's an angled maneuver. I could be mistaken, however.
Still, yeah, great 2-frame. Knows that timing perfectly on that up B. And really has a commanding lead in this game 2 grand finals.
Actually, maybe you can. I'm not quite sure about that.
I wonder if... Oh, okay, we're seeing here. Chat is saying you can angle it.
Okay. So that's why I'm that's why I missed a lot of potential kill opportunities. So Mr. L.
Oh, he's about to get lapped in percent right here. Let's do something quick.
It's funny because the angle on Yoshi's F smash is one of those things that it feels so natural, like you're kind of holding that direction anyway, so you don't really even think about the fact that you can angle it. It's almost like Game & Watch's neutral B, the chef, where you can angle the food. Oh my gosh, I'm not really sure how you're angling this. I'm not sure how you're angling this if you're Mr. L though, because you gotta reel in this set real fast. It's getting away from you.
Yeah, Mr. L's just finding it hard to. Oh my gosh, got a match quicker than that. Nice player there finally to get that stock. Mr. L just doesn't have like this a great option for a kill confirm. Once Yoshi gets past a certain percent, it's usually just going for like an edge guard with fair or bear, like really far off stage. But I think that like Yoshi options off stage in terms of his double jump armor, eggs, and his aerial ability just makes it so hard.
Please
don't do this to us.
Come on,
Are
man.
you serious?
Nintendo. Wait, are one of these guys streaming right now? Chat. Help me out here. Please tell me one of these guys are streaming.
Be our heroes, chat. Hold
up. Let me check Twitch.
By all means.
Man, I'm tired of this online service, man. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ, man. Let me see if
Folks, this is what Kelvin puts himself through every single Monday for you all. So at the very least, if you could just drop the follow. Because
I wouldn't want to say every week, but it does happen.
Every week.
But it does happen. It does happen.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Like,
oh boy. Oh, there you go. Well, it's 2-0. Raptor. Oh my god, is Raptor gonna reset? Okay.
Quick reset.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Oh. Alright. Let's hope this next game Nintendo doesn't slap us and make us our bitch again. Like, fucking A, man. Please. Fix this online service. Fix Ultimate Online. Whatever happened to that hashtag?
Crazy. Yeah, I mean,
I think greater things prevailed.
Yeah, I'd say a few hashtags took over since then. If we're being
completely
honest.
Yeah, of course. Way more important matters.
Yeah, for real. I mean, we gotta fix the world if we're being completely honest. But yeah, Mr. L has a little bit of soul searching to do. Raptor standing in the ring, victorious. I mean, this is looking like the Royal Rumble champion right now, man. He's pointing at that WrestleMania sign. He's feeling himself. But Mr. L is going to be in the spectator stands. Nice to see you.
The Chef Kurosaki. Wait, if I say his name right? Kawasaki? Kawasaki. Chef Kawasaki.
If I saw that correctly.
Yeah, I think you said it right. That image kills me. He's just staring at you. All right, here we go.
It's fitting. Yeah, it's befitting. So now Unova will be the destination for game number 3. And I kind of wonder what the rationale is here as opposed to Pokemon Stadium. Okay, generally the same layout, except maybe the platforms are a little larger, analogous to the stage. But even so, it's not by much.
The side blast zones are much shorter too. I think it's maybe even the top one. I had
Mr. L has thrown the gauntlet, and Raptor, it's on him to accept it. He's only taken 12 percentage points worth of damage this stock, and he is feeling it right now.
does not want to get reversed, get 3-0'd here, and have this bracket reset just yet. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like smaller blast side blast zones, and then obviously the platforms are like significantly higher than every other stage.
Yeah, see, there's those usual points that you see brought up about Unova, specifically the one about teleportation, teleportation
Paolo
recoveries. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is like a hard counter to Paolo. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, why shouldn't that be a thing? Like, you don't get a free teleport back to ledge. Like, good. Uh-oh, Raptor.
Oh!
It's caught! Mr. L absolutely decimated Raptor. Made him pay for the air dodge, the directional there. And, yeah, Mr. L, if he wants to reverse 3-0, this is generally how you want to start to do it.
Oh, that was so sick. Using that wall jump into dare. Never seen that.
So Raptor making a case for himself, taking the first stock off of Mr. L finally, but I mean his momentum has come to an absolutely screeching halt. Sometimes that'll just happen when you get spiked like that. The fact that they put that in just to make Pikachu feel a little bit more like Smash 64 Pikachu shows that there is evil in this planet. Like, it exists. Hell is real. So.
Oh, lots of thunder jolts. Oh, he just gets out of that bear with a double jump.
Raptor, yeah, getting caught by this Nair as well. So Raptor.
Oh, doesn't
Oh yeah,
you didn't expect that. I don't think anyone expected that.
He was waiting for Mr. L to move in. Raptor had it perfectly spaced out with that fastball Nair, but Mr. L simply did not bite until he landed, and yeah, Mr. L eventually there to punish these little micro interactions that Mr. L has been winning. Certainly going to win out in the long run. However, Raptor has taken the second stock. Mr. L, he needs to stay vigilant here.
Oh, that fair almost caught him. Good aerial mobility to dodge that.
Grabbing the throw. Looking for that down air, yeah, trying to see if he could get something cheeky. Because if you hit all of those hits on that down air, you're all of a sudden holding 33 points of damage off of one move alone.
Almost got that job block there. Oh, egg right there, perfectly spaces that out. Oh, misses that up smash.
Oh, he was daring Mr. L to recover right in his face. That forward air was ready and waiting.
Just like that!
The up air, and yeah!
Situation.
Your lead is erased. It's gone. What are you going to do about it? Mr. L, the time to respond is right about now. What say you, my man?
Yeah, all the momentum is gone, even if we win this game. Raptor has definitely taken the momentum back in his favor. So many things to kill right here too right now for Raptor, whereas Mr. L still has to work a little bit, I think, to find this kill.
Raptor again with that egg, trying to beat back Mr. L just a little bit.
Playing super patient. Mr. L's looking for his T-Jolt to open up his drought inside.
Yeah.
They're just everyone. They know the weight of this next neutral win.
Yeah. Mr. L will be looking for anything that he possibly can in terms of a smash attack. Up or forward, I believe, will do it at this juncture. You can never take it for granted. Yoshi's a hefty boy, but that is one of the stronger up smashes in the entire game that Pikachu has. Of course, you can't underestimate Yoshi's either.
The level of patience right now is super high. Oh god.
No, one mistimed approach could spell doom for one of these two. It either starts Mr. L on a potential path towards victory, or it resets the bracket for Raptor, and finally, you're on even playing ground. Mr. L. Air dodge is back away from Mr. L.
I really don't expect it to, but there's a minute left in this game. I can't imagine it goes to the wire again, but the level of patience right now is might be proving otherwise.
He fastball bears. Raptor goes off stage, catches Raptor in the midair, so perhaps empowering Mr. L just a little bit to approach with these aerials. That is at least...
That's a kill!
That's a dare, and that's a kill. All of a sudden, Raptor resets the bracket 3-0. Jitty, it's a whole new ball game.
We're here. Grander finals.
True
Raptor.
finals, my man.
I feel like we keep going back and forth on this on so many different people's streams. Yeah, true finals. True finals is nice too. It's better than grander finals. I was just being silly. But yeah, Raptor, great showing in this first set to reset the bracket.
And not only that, but let's talk about this, because not only did he 3-0 Mr. L there, but that was a reverse 3 stock that we just saw. Mr. L came out of the gates just guns blazing. 2 successive spikes, one just cleaning up, took the stock at 6%. Just beautiful combo potential that we saw from Mr. L. Secondly, taking advantage of the directional air dodge that would eventually lead to his own demise there, Raptor. But then, yeah, 3 successive stocks, slowing the game down. Raptor taking his first stock right after that death of his. But yeah, I mean, Raptor, I have to admire him. The guy can be like a metronome sometimes. He can be absolutely unshakable. And now, as we're talking about this reset and they're deliberating between each other as to what's going to happen here, Mr. L and Raptor are they're putting on a clinic for us one way or another. And it's definitely a test of patience between these two, but also really just a matter of who's going to blink first at times. It certainly seemed like that in that game 3.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Raptor did just come off of a 3-0 set to reset the bracket, but as you mentioned, Mr. L seemed way more alive in the beginning of that first game, or in the beginning of that last game, and I think it's still up in the air who might take this bracket tonight.
Yeah,
I think he finally just woke up and realized, like, okay, yeah, we're in grand finals.
Yeah, then I do think it's a dangerous position for Mr. L to be in, because getting reverse 3 stocked can absolutely break one's spirits, and I don't want that to be the case, particularly for Mr. L, who has shown like nothing short of dominance, quite frankly, in the preceding rounds. But as we're seeing Raptor just come alive throughout the run in losers bracket, I mean, the only real loss of a set that he took thus far was to Utopian Ray 2-0, and he got his revenge to the tune of 3-1 last set. So yeah, Raptor, ever since, I mean, all it took with those 2 Yoshi dittos, I guess, to get the confidence back. And you know what? He's the king of Jurassic Park, if even only for a day. So we will be starting up with game number 1 of True Finals soon enough. I'm just wondering how this plays out for Raptor at this point, because you know that you're vulnerable. You know that you could have gotten caught, but how do you keep your head in the game, especially after such an emotionally charged 3-stock reverse 3-stock victory in game 3? How do you do it, Jitty? Like, what is the competitive mindset here?
Phew. I don't know. I think you just gotta you say to yourself, you know, I deserve to be here. You just try to get that out of your mind, what just happened, as much as possible. Like, I can say for sure I've definitely gotten 2-0'd, 3-0'd multiple times. I don't know about all these other good players who've never gone 0-2 in bracket, but you gotta shake off your losses. Try not to think about them. Try to act like it never happened. Because right now, yeah, right now we're in real, true grand finals.
True finals often reveals the one true champion, so I have to see which one of them will step forward and claim the crown. Mr. L and Raptor, they're going at it again. Starting off on Smashville yet again. We saw how that ended the first two times. What can Mr. L do to make sure it's not a third?
What can he do? Let's see. I think I do really like the Smashville pick. Like, it didn't work out in the past, but I really don't. You don't want Yoshi to get into the egg game, and I really think if Mr. L just starts hitting his strings like he has been doing all night, I think we'll see more wins on his side. And the fact that it's just a small stage really would allow that to happen. Like, Pikachu's so fast on stage. All his multi-hit moves allow him to combo into themselves.
Yeah, it seems like Mr. L is moving a little bit faster, and I know that that's just a matter of the fact that he's just getting in a little bit more, but I mean, his execution's been looking pretty on point so far, relatively even in terms of the score, but Mr. L is getting that grab, winning a lot more of these neutral interactions, looking for the hard read on the get up. Did not get the neutral get up and gets put in an egg for the troubles off stage. Raptor really Mr. L dirty. That was nigh upon disrespectful, my man.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Pikachu can do to you. Just put you in the blender. You're gonna end up being lost.
Sure seems like that Yoshi bomb takes Mr. L off the stage.
Wow!
Up air. Beautifully done. That frame 5 up air, one of the stronger moves in the arsenal of Yoshi, pulls that one out of the repertoire and takes the first stock of true finals.
Mr. L's getting reverse edge guarded and he gets hit with that up air. But yeah, he cleans it up pretty nicely there, and now we're back to 2 stocks apiece.
Raptor sitting back, letting the game come to him, and Mr. L.
Nice start.
That dash grab could prove to be very important. I'm not really sure if Mr. L has been really using that dash attack enough to justify sitting in shield all that often, but either way, that seems to be Raptor's go-to, so Mr. L could possibly see him leaning on that just a little bit more, because not really seeing Raptor try to rely on spot dodge all that much. He's generally used to Mr. L pressing a button in his face. And then again, that could be the Yoshi projecting. You never know. But it's, oh my gosh, beautifully read. Caught with the down air, and then eventually, bada bing, bada boom, you get an F smash straight to the jugular. And that's Mr. L going down to his last stock of this game number 1. This is about to be 4 straight wins on Mr. L that Raptor is picking up, unless Mr. L can do something right here, right now.
Mr. L just, he doesn't have, he doesn't know what's going on, I think. Like, Raptor just seems to have a download in this matchup right now.
Ooh, 66%.
I was reading in chat before, you know, people mentioning that even ESAM thinks that this is like a, you know, like a good match for Yoshi, or even just like even. And we're seeing like maybe why that's the case. As I've mentioned before in previous stats, like one of Pikachu's biggest strengths, I think, is edge guarding. I think that's how I would say a majority of Pikachus get their kills, and
Yeah,
that's
good
just
luck
so
with jump
hard.
armor though.
Yeah, that's just so hard to do against Yoshi. They with the aerial mobility, with the double jump armor, uh, you just aren't finding. If you can't find those edge guard kills, it makes it much harder. Oh wow, that's a skittle.
I was convinced that was going to be a shield break for whatever reason. I'm not sure. And the Yoshi bomb. Raptor, you're ridiculous. I have to say, Mr. L. I mean, doing whatever he possibly can, and yeah, it seems like you would think that the smaller character and the faster character would be the one that's the absolute hardest to hit, but I mean, Raptor has not been missing, has been letting the game come to him, and I guess the benefit of having that Nair just linger for what seems like forever. I might just check the official number of frames right now. I might have a tab on Ultimate Frame data. I won't confirm as such, but yeah, that thing just lingers for what seems like for all time. But yeah, okay, from frames 3 to basically 25, it seems like. Yeah, that's basically an entire third of a second that thing is staying out. So yeah, and it seems like Mr. L has been running into that quite a bit, just not able to establish his own aerial offense. And as we go to Unova for game number 2, again, we rationalized this in the last game, but again, Raptor, this is exactly where Raptor 3 stock Mr. L.
Yeah.
Reverse 3 stock, excuse me. Get the nomenclature correct.
One thing I don't think I've brought up yet this set, especially with regards to this matchup, is I think the aerial mobility, the fact that Yoshi's aerial mobility is the best in the game, and Pikachu doesn't really move that well in the air if you think about it. His airspeed isn't the greatest, or like just how he's able to move in the air.
Yeah. No, I mean, most of what we've been seeing from Mr. L has been trying to approach on the ground and then go for that back air, or sometimes the nair.
So like all these multi-hit moves that Mr. L throws out, Yoshi's just able to weave around them and then turn it around and throw out his own up air, his own back air, his own dare, and turn the tables on Pikachu. Oh my god, that shield is like always so little at the end of those Yoshi bombs.
I have to say, like, if you are able to combo into Yoshi bombs somehow and your opponent is still sitting in shield, then you definitely earned your shield break, but at the same time, that means that your opponent did something wildly wrong. Because it seems like that thing is going to break the shield pretty easily, but it's never quite as easy as you think, especially since at the end of Yoshi Bomb, you're not following it up. You're going to get tagged somehow, and you know it if you miss. That thing is massively negative on shield, as one might expect. Good dash grab into up throw, and that's how you have to claim the stocks, man. You really have to rely on Yoshi's landing frames, I feel like.
Oh, wow, cleans that up immediately after with that Yoshi bomb. Oh, Raptor's playing this so well. This entire set, this entire grand final.
It's also not the worst idea in the world, really. I mean, if you're Mr. L, to try to let Raptor seemingly come to you, where you're not necessarily being the aggressor all the time. I mean, maybe you are losing a little bit. Maybe the Yoshi does have good stuff in the air, but what's stopping you from using your shield? Because you know that Yoshi's grabs are not necessarily the greatest in the world. You know that a dash grab leaves him hella vulnerable, so utilize that spot dodge, utilize that jump, whatever the case may be. Make Raptor try to come to you, even if it is in the air, because then at least you have a chance on following up on something off of the landing.
There it is.
The shield broke, and he was just sitting there.
Too.
He was just sitting there, and Raptor took full advantage, and Mr. L all of a sudden holding that L, and Raptor Takes him down to the last stock.
I mean, this game's not over yet, but honestly, if I'm Mr. L, does he have another character that he can pick?
It makes you wonder. I don't know. I think for the most part, he's been living and dying by this Pikachu, and it's served him well thus far. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But definitely, counterplay might be called for here against Yoshi, the caliber of Raptor.
Yeah, you know, it sometimes it's not even just about like, you know, as a counter pick. Sometimes it's just like picking a different character just changes up your game plan. It changes up how your opponent has to play. Maybe it's not something they're more comfortable with. Yeah, it's not always about. Oh wow, yeah, of course. It's not always about just picking an optimal character against Yoshi. Okay, they're a little taunt.
Okay, I'm feeling
You
it.
have
Honestly,
to get that back to your favor. You know, that momentum. You got to get that swagger back in your favor.
you know, considering the whole thing that we've seen with Yoshi and what we know about Yoshi, just pick a sortie. Like, what's wrong with it? There's no shame in it. You know how that goes for Yoshi. Generally speaking, you can't really utilize that quick nair with your feet when you're getting a sword swung into your skull. So why not? Although I will say, Mr. L has made these games awfully close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. That up air is absolutely lethal, and that is 5 straight wins for Raptor, and Mr. L is leaning against the ropes.
I can't find the words to describe what Mr. L has to do to change this up, besides switching characters or something.
Makes you wonder if we
Yeah,
see that hop out to the break. You don't know.
I'm sure he's struggling with that answer himself right now. It can't just be about playing better because, yeah, it's not like his stuff isn't working. It's just the game, Yoshi's game plan and Pikachu's game plan, they don't line up well for Mr. L, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. I do have to say, what Mr. L has been doing is, it's not even necessarily like he's playing bad or anything like that. It's just that he has to work really damn hard for everything, and Raptor is switching something. I'm not really sure if it's a stage selection that's being made different here. And if Mr. L is going to do it, he will live by Pikachu. And as it could unfortunately be, he may very well die by Pikachu. Raptor is 1 win away from Fusion Championship glory, and he may do so at Pikachu's home turf for Pokemon Stadium, oddly enough. It's obviously this is considered the neutral stage, but I mean, neutral in this instance, I mean, you're talking about people like Esam, who you mentioned before, sees Yoshi as a losing matchup. I mean, what does that do for you?
Yeah, I don't know what the benefit is of coming in a PS2. I don't even want to say it's like a comfort pick because I feel like Pikachu's, they want no platforms. He likes Smash Bros, so I don't really know. I was thinking about losing, but that's not really useful here. The space to run around, get Thunder Jolts around, that could be the potential factor. He was thinking that the boxing, yeah, the boxing game plan wasn't working so well. Maybe he wants to switch up to a more runaway Pikachu style. But whatever that game plan is, it doesn't look to be working out so well just yet, as he's down almost 60% in this first stock.
Making his way back, but again, is at 130%. You're just getting batted around by this Yoshi. You'd think he'd be tired of it by now, but that Nair going to send Mr. L off the stage and gonna make it back. Yeah, Yoshi. Pikachu's recovery is excellent, but the quick attack ain't quick enough to escape a back smashing headbutt by Raptor.
What a crazy read. Just goes for that fair right in the middle of the stage saying, I know exactly where you want to go.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was insane
Pla-
by Raptor.
Planted it into the chest of Mr. L. And now Raptor, 2 stocks away from a victory here. Already won the first set of grand finals, 3-0. He could be winning true finals by the same score. Jab sends Mr. L off the stage, and Mr. L just looks like he looks like he's out of ideas. I don't know what to say. Like, this is, I don't want to say this is panic mode, but man, you got to start thinking of something.
Yeah, Raptors just look so in control this grand finals.
He tested him. He didn't even go for the up air. He just wanted to see how Mr. L would react.
That's
And you
the
have the
kill.
room to do it. Yoshi Bomb is going to take Mr. L down to the last stock. I mean, that flash of brilliance that we saw in Game 3 of the first set, he needs that now. Mr.
Oh,
L.
this is tough. This is tough. I mean, if you find the kill here, that's gotta be your first worry. Oh no. I mean, you're
My
making back.
gosh.
Oh.
Oh.
He's been
Mr.
making
L.
him so worrisome, right? Like, I feel like most people could mash out of that way faster.
Yeah, definitely. But Mr. L almost found himself in an early yolk-filled coffin, not quite finding it though, able to mash out and eventually getting the stock off of Raptor. However, in very real danger. I mean, Raptor's just throwing out those up airs. Don't you dare think of landing on top of me, says Raptor. Mr. L gonna try to charge in, but Raptor's so good at spacing out that F smash. That's his bread and butter right there. And Mr. L has to find something else. Oh my, he just charged up the F smash. Why not? Just swing for the fences, my man. Gets caught by the
Oh, that was
Way to end
Quit.
it.
And Raptor bearing the teeth. Welcome to Jurassic World. Raptor takes home Fusion.
Beautiful run from loser's side from Raptor after getting put there in winners semis by Utopian Ray, making his way through losers quarters, losers semis, losers finals, and then grand finals where he goes 6-0 against Mr. L. That's a rough L to take for Mr. L. 6 straight losses in grand
Agreed.
finals.
Agreed. I mean, certainly not unprecedented, but man, that can't feel good for Mr. L. Certainly some rethinking that needs to be done, but again, not even a terrible performance from Mr. L. Just ran into the hot hand, and Raptor, I mean, absolutely on fire. All the credit in the world to him. Did incredibly well to make it to this point, and certainly to take the whole tournament in 6 consecutive games, no less. Props to him, man. He took it, did it his way, and man, did he look dominant doing it.
He went through the gauntlet today, huh? All these Yoshis he had to prove that he was better than, didn't need to be said. And then Utopian Ray, he got his run back against him in 2 different, after losing his first set.
Yeah,
Just a beautiful showing from Raptor and his Yoshi.
I'm Stu the announcer.
And I'm Jitty.
Black Lives Matter. Take care.
Peace.